All right, welcome to Crafting with Ginny at 3:30. We have that every Tuesday. Today we are going to be making a pilgrim craft because Thanksgiving is coming up, and last week we talked about the craft that we made where we made the Mayflower, the merchant ship, and you can see there's some little pilgrims on there. So today we're going to be making a paper plate pilgrim craft. So I've already pre-made one. There's the boy or the man. Sorry, there's the girl. There's the man or the boy. So we're going to make those today. So the first thing you're going to need is you want to print off your instructions, which is on our website. And it will also give you the templates. So you can see there's templates there too. So once you've done that, then you're going to need this for supplies. You're going to need, if you're making them both, you'll need 2 medium-sized to large paper plates, and then 2 small paper plates. The small ones are for the face, of course. And the other thing you're going to need, I'll just put my computer down so you can see what I've got on my table here. I'll just move some of these things off. So you're going to need some black construction paper, some yellow construction paper, some brown construction paper, and some white. All right. The other thing you'll want to have is a paint tray. And I used a paint sponge. You can use a paintbrush if you want, but this works really well on the paper plates. I also have a little container to put my brushes or my sponge in afterwards with water. And you're going to need paint. So you want orange acrylic paint, red acrylic paint, and white. And the reason you want those 3 colors is when you go to paint your face, you want to make it kind of like more of a peachy color or a kind of a tan color for the face. So I've pre-done my painting. So your next step is you want to take your small paper plates and you want to paint them. Now I pre-did them because they need time to dry. So I did one for each. One for the boy and one for the girl. Now if you want them even lighter, you can do them even lighter. All right. So once you have that done, the other thing you're going to need, of course, is a pair of scissors. And you probably would want a felt marker. I've chosen a thicker one. And a pencil for tracing. And you want to use crayons instead of a Sharpie or a felt marker. I kind of like the marker myself. The other thing I'm going to use today for today's video, but again, you can try using either tape, which works fine, or you can use glue sticks and a glue gun. I'm going to use the glue gun because it's just a little bit faster. Now, because I've already painted, I'm going to just remove my paint out of the way here so I have lots of room on my table. And I'll just put my pencils to the side there. And I'm not going to be using my tape, but you can use tape if you want to, because when you're gluing onto cardboard, regular glue sticks like this, they don't work very good. When you're gluing onto paper plates, it's kind of tough. So once you've printed off your templates, you want to cut those out. Then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to trace them onto your construction paper. So you're going to need a black wedge and you're going to need a black hat for the boy. You're going to need brown hair, so the brown construction paper. And I call this my yellow buckle for the hat. You're also going to want to cut out the white, I call it the sash of the hat. So you want to cut out that as well. And then you're going to need to cut, this is the collar. You cut this from a large piece of paper plate, and you can see that's the collar part of there. So the wedge is for here. We'll do the boy first. So the wedges for here, the brown hair, black hat, white sash, and yellow buckle. Okay, so once you've cut that out, the next thing you're going to want to do for the boy, I'm just going to move the girl one aside here so I have room to work. You are going to want to take your paper plate and you're first going to make your hat. So now take your black hat and you want to glue on that white, what I called the hat sash. So you're going to be gluing it right about there. So I am going to use just a glue stick for that part because that will work. Construction paper on construction paper will glue just fine. It's just when you need the paper plate, when you need to glue something to the paper plate that I'm going to use the hot glue gun. Now remember, a hot glue gun is only to be used under supervision by an adult. Okay, we don't want you burning your fingers. All right, so now that I've got my sash on my hat, as I call it, I'm going to glue the yellow buckle on there. And you want to glue it right about there so that it's just a little below the white and just above. So again, I'm going to use my regular glue stick. And I'm just going to glue that on. So now I've made my hat for my pilgrim. And try to glue it on so that it's about middle. So there's a little bit on either side of your white sash there. All right, so I have the hat. So now what I want to do, and of course you would, if you had painted your face, you wanted it to dry first. So make sure you painted that first and foremost, and you've let it dry. Now to make the paint colors, when I mix the orange, the red, and the white, you can put a little bit of each in there and just mix it until you get the color that you want for the face. Like that, it's kind of a pale peachy color. So to get that, you kind of just have to estimate how many drops you put of each, and then you just keep stirring it with your brush and figure out what you know, how dark or how light you want it. All right, so the next step, you know, once you have painted all of that and you've done your hat, then you're going to glue the black wedge piece to the paper plate wedge. So what we call the paper plate wedge is the collar. So I'm going to glue this black piece to the paper plate wedge. And I'm going to glue it right about there. You can have a little bit of white showing on the bottom. Now, because it is a paper plate, I have to just reach over here because I don't have a very long cord here for my hot glue gun. And I'm just going to get a bit more glue for my glue gun here because I'm getting short. Okay. So now put some glue on the back of your wedge, your black wedge that you're going to be gluing onto the collar of the paper plate. And I would say just put it more or less in the middle. Make sure you get enough on there so it sticks nicely to your paper plate. Be careful, remember, with glue guns. And then you're going to have a little bit on either side of the collar. So you're just going to stick it on in about the middle with a little bit of white showing down below like that. So now you can take your paper plate and you are going to glue that over that black wedge. All right, so let's do that. Actually, before we do that, let's maybe put on our hair onto the paper plate. Let's do that first. So we're going to glue the hair, and there is kind of a rough edge on the bottom just to show that the hair is kind of wavy. So we're going to glue the hair on near the top of the paper plate. So you're just going to put some glue on the top. Again, you can use tape. You don't have to use a glue gun, and it is safer for kids to use, so not a problem. I'm just using it because it's faster for me. And you glue the hair on at the top right about there. Now you want to glue the hat. So you're going to glue it a little ways over the hair like that. So there's just a bit of hair sticking out. So I'm going to glue that on there. You just need a bit. There. So now you can see the start of the head there. Now we can glue the collar on the bottom. So you're going to put a bit of glue on the top part of your wedge, your white wedge, which is your collar. And you're going to press it to the back of the plate. So you can press it at the back like this. So you can see we have the start of the boy there now. All we have left to do for our boy craft is to draw in his face. So I'm going to use my Sharpie, black Sharpie pen. Like I said, you can use crayons if you want. Make your eyes the way you want them and the nose. Now my Sharpie pen seems to be not running very well on here, so I'm going to use the other one. It's a little bit better. I think my Sharpie pen is running out of its ink. And I'm going to give my boy a nice big smile because he's very happy to be traveling to the new world where he can, on the merchant ship, the Mayflower. So there you go. There's the boy pilgrim, or the man if you want to call it. So now we're going to do the girl. And the girl is very similar as well, except for she has a little bit of a different top. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take, let me just get the other envelope here and see where my wedge went to. My wedge is missing. There we go. So I have to just trim this wedge a little bit. So you're going to want the wedge for the top part of her hat. You can see she has a different sort of hat on than the other one did. I think this one's a little bit bigger, so we're going to use this one. All right. So now you're going to want to put some glue I'm using the glue gun again. You're going to want to put some glue onto that's what I call the trim of the hat. So put some glue on the back. And you can even put a bit on this part of your wedge, your white wedge. So you've cut that all out. Remember, you had to cut everything out first. And now you're going to stick it on. Let me just get this so it's a little more in the middle. I put a bit more glue there. And don't worry if you've cut it so that it needs a little trim. You can trim it after. Mine just needs a little trim there because you don't want it sticking out of the bottom like that. So that's the top part of the hat. So now you are going to glue on. You are going to glue on the collar. So that's your wedge on the bottom. Before you glue it on, again, you've got that black wedge because you want to put that on the collar. So you're going to do the same thing like you did for the man or the boy pilgrim. you're going to put glue on the back of the black wedge and glue it on to about the middle, and you can leave a little bit of white showing at the bottom, just like that. And now you can glue the hair on. So now with the hair, it's the brown pieces that you have cut out. You want them to join, and you want this part, the sort of, this looks like a leaf. So you want the bottom part to be this way. You want them so that they're kind of almost joining, because the hairline goes together, right? So you want them so they're like joining there. So I'm going to put some glue on there and stick my hair on either side. So just lay it on there first to see where it goes. And now I'm going to put some on the back of my other one here and stick it on, because you want the hair to be joining. Remember, your hairline, it joins. Okay, so now you have it like that. So that's the hair on either side. So now you can glue on the hat. So you're going to glue it over the hairline just a little bit. This is where I'm going to use my glue gun again, and I'm going to put some on the paper plate, on the face part of the paper plate and across the hair. And I'm going to glue it on just like that. So you can see the girl is wearing a different hat than the boy, obviously. Now let's glue on that wedge that you did, the collar. Let's glue it onto the bottom, just like we did with the boy craft. We're going to put some glue on the back here and stick it to our face, our paper plate face. Remember, just line it up so that it's kind of in the middle. And then you can, I might need to put a bit more glue here. Looks like it, because I didn't put quite enough. So you're going to stick it on just over the black and down to where the ridges are for the collar there. Okay, so that's the girl. Now we get to draw the face in, just like we did the boy. Again, you can use other colors if you want. You don't have to use black. Maybe she's got blue eyes or green eyes. You can do whatever colors you want on there for your face, and make the nose the way you want and the mouth the way you want. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to give her a nice big smile, just like the boy, because she is happy to be traveling on the Mayflower ship with her family. All right, so there's the girl pilgrim or the woman, and here is the boy. They're pretty cute. And like I said, they are traveling on the Mayflower ship that we made last week. So I hope you enjoyed those crafts. I know I certainly did. And I hope you will join me again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I have musical theater, and we are going to be talking turkey. We're going to be singing songs, and we're going to have a puppet, a turkey puppet. And then in the afternoon, we're going to do some paper magic. In fact, I'm going to give you a little look at what we're going to do. It's called paper quilling. I hope you can join me at 3:30 for that craft. It was a lot of fun to make. It looks hard, but it's not. It's really quite easy. So join me tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning for musical theater, and at 3:30 in the afternoon for some paper magic. All right, thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.